Hello and good day. I'm not really doing a full stream. That's probably why I'm doing it on YouTube. This is just a short tutorial for players that have gotten in the verse. You usually, if you're like me, you probably start out with either an Aurora or the Mustang. I suggest you buy the Mustang because as far as I know, you still get an Aurora as a loaner, so you kind of get two ships for the price of one, and it's the same price starter package. In addition, if you upgrade from a Mustang, they give you $5 more credit, at least here in the U.S. that is, than they do for the Aurora when you upgrade. In fact, when I started, I bought the Aurora, and then when I realized that I swapped and got a Mustang and then upgraded it. But it just a short tutorial. I was watching some other streamers, and a lot of people are having trouble with the Aurora and doing the actual missions. So that's the bounty missions, or combat missions, as opposed to the box missions. They have delivery missions, and those are easy. You just go to waypoint 1 and pick up a box and go to waypoint 2. I'm not going to really cover them because they're kind of self-explanatory. So is the bounty missions in a way, other than the Aurora you buy. When you buy the Aurora, it's not really set up. And let me see here. Yeah, and I have this Aurora, but I've already upgraded it, and I'll show you how to do that. If you have the Mustang and you have an Aurora loaner, you can do this without costing you anything. You want to go to your loadout, and let's see, I'm going to have to go here and unequip some weapons. But essentially, you'll have the RSI and the Mustang. If you buy the Mustang pack, that's the only two you'll have, is that one and this one. So is what you want to do. Now my Aurora already has, and I'll show you here, it already has 4 guns. But by default, they only come with 2. And that's the biggest problem people have, is they just don't have, these are size 1 guns, and they just don't have enough damage to really get through the bounty missions. It's possible, it can be done, but it's terribly difficult. So it's what you have to do is you go to your Mustang, and you go to weapons. And now this Mustang already is fitted out with 4. No, it's only fitted out with 2. Anyway, when you get the Mustang by default, it usually only comes with 2 of the 4 guns. It has these 2 that are, and then these. Let's see, 1, 2. Then these 2 will be empty. So you can select these, and then you can steal them from the Mustang. Okay. Now once you get done stealing the 2 guns, it only comes with 2, the 2 guns off the Mustang, you go to your screen here, and you retrieve your Mustang. It'll throw it on the pad.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
And now, keep in mind that right now, that ship wouldn't have any guns. So we'd throw it out on the pad, and then we'd come over here, and because it's on the pad, we can now claim it, which is like an insurance claim. So we'll claim the ship back, and you have to wait for the 5 minutes to be up. Now I'm going to go ahead and expedite just because I can, and we'll only have to wait 50 seconds. But basically, you expedite it and you get those weapons back. So, in effect, if you unequip them from the Mustang or the Aurora, put it on the Mustang, and then reclaim your Mustang, you've duplicated the two guns. Okay? Then, after this reclaim, you can go back in there and go to the Aurora, and you can steal them back and put them on the Aurora, and you end up with an Aurora with 4 guns. That's basically the big tip. Once you have 4 guns, it's much easier to get through the combat mission. Now, if you only have the Aurora pack and you don't want to trade it in for the Mustang pack, which is what I do suggest you do, then right now the problem is you can't even buy the size 1 gimbals that come on it. So the only way to get them is to replicate it from the Aurora. So the only option you would have right this moment would be to like buy an Aurora in game or rent an Aurora in game, and then steal them from that, which is totally an option. You can rent them in game. If you're having problems and this is an actual in-game issue that you're trying to work around, I'll leave. As a matter of fact, I should have put that in there. I was going to say I'll leave my Discord channel and allow you to just jump in. Oh, that's the right one. Just jump in my Discord channel, and I'll be happy to walk you through getting the extra guns on your ship the way you have to do it right now. Like I say, it's just as easy. Eventually, we'll be able to just buy them in game, but as of right now, the only thing you can do, and I don't know if that'll save or not. Yeah, okay. The only thing you can do is duplicate the guns off the Aurora that you already have to get them. There is no actual place to buy the size 1 gimbals, but mess around with stealing, swapping them back and forth until you can go into your vehicle manager. For some reason, my mobi-glass isn't working. Oh, come on. There we go. Until you can go in your mobi-gas, select the Aurora, and look in the guns and make sure you have 4 yellow jackets. And if I'm not mistaken, those are the guns that come on it. Yeah. So that's great. And the yellow jackets are just Gatling ballistics, which bleed through shields, meaning you can kill a ship that's a lot bigger than your normal target because you don't have to deplete the shields all the way. Now at this point, once you get it to where it shows like that, relog. That locks the ship so that if you reclaim it, it won't come back with 2 weapons, it'll come back with 4. Once you have it in 4 weapons, relog. Exit the menu. And just relog back in, and you're good. Now, if you reclaim the ship, it'll keep all 4 guns that we just went through the process of duplicating and getting put on there. That way, if you die, you don't have to go through that process every time. Every 3 months ish, you'll have a wipe that you'll have to redo that anyway. But that's a different thing. That's something different entirely, and just part of the gameplay in the alpha game. Alright, now we have 4 guns on our Aurora, and we can legitimately do combat bounty missions. Let's hope I have one. May not have shown up yet sometimes. And there's a couple of missions that you'll have to do to unlock the bounties. But again, that's kind of beyond what I'm really wanting to say. Essentially, there's a 2,000. The missions I'm using, there's other bounty missions, but the missions I use are the Crusader Security. Now this one don't bother with. It's too cheap. But there's one 2,000 credit assessment that you have to do, and then you have to do a pro-temp mission. After that, with luck, you'll get the 8 and 10,000 credit missions, which I haven't gotten yet, but will. Let's see, it's on pad 02. This is actually one of the FreeFly loaners that I have here. The Aurora, I don't own my Aurora. Looks an awful lot like a Titan now. It's been upgraded, so no longer a Mustang. And actually, I never did own. I did at the end. I upgraded it to a Mustang when I realized that they gave you the Aurora as a loaner anyway. But I never did use the Mustang. Some people like the Mustang. It probably handles better, but I just like the Aurora because you're less likely to get messed with. The Mustang is more of a fighter, where this is more of just a noob ship. So. You can get around, and people will leave you alone a little better if you're in a Mustang or in a Aurora. Other than the guns, there's nothing changed. This is the basic ship that you'll get, and the only thing you really need is the extra 2 guns. And of course, you'll have to learn how to fly, which is a whole different. Would be a whole different tutorial and even longer than this one is planning. But we're going to go here because that's where I know all the missions are normally at. I want to double check, make sure they didn't pop in yet. Yeah, we have another one. Okay, now this is a 10K one. This, you'll notice, I'm kind of getting sidetracked. You'll notice that this is a name with a space, and it's specifically 8,000 or 10,000 from North Rock. These bounty issued are actually player bounties, which you can do, of course. I don't really care for them, but we're going to do this 10,000 credit bounty, hopefully. I'm not going to lie, if it's a hammerhead, we're skipping it. I can take down pretty much anything but a hammerhead in this thing. AI-wise. Okay, I've already mapped it, so it should give me the spooling. Really, the only other tip I have for you is just that the R button, when I get there, when I actually get to the mission, I hit R until I get to the gimbal mode, gimbal assist mode, and it'll cycle through full gimbal, which is what I'm in now. That's what I like to fly in. For me, it's the easiest. Fixed, and then gimbal assist. Fixed is great, especially for bigger ships, because it allows you a size larger gun than the gimbals do. But on size 1, there's no benefit, and you might as well use the assist, especially in this ship. You're shooting 4 BB guns, basically, 4 size 1 guns, so the smallest guns in the game. So, having the assist just means you'll hit more shots, and you need all the help you can get, probably, or I do, so. Take us a minute or so to get over here. I hope my sound's coming through. I don't actually stream on YouTube very often, but I wanted to put this one on YouTube. I've done this multiple times on Twitch streams, but usually they're probably buried in, 4 to 8 hour streams. So I'm not going to go back and hunt for it. Uh, I mean, the biggest issue is learning how to duplicate or steal guns back and forth off of ships. And like I say, you will have to have 2 ships that have size 1 guns to duplicate the 2 that they give you, since obviously you can't buy them in game. You can buy the guns themselves, but the gimbals that allow you the assist mode, can't buy yet. Hopefully that'll come out in the next patch or so, because they were talking about allowing it, doing that. Alright, I'm gonna grab some water real quick. I think I have just about that much time. And if you're unfamiliar with the game entirely, now is a good time if you want to look at it. Now is a great time to do that. You actually have the rest of this week, so another 4 days after today, not counting today, to try it for free. There's 5 pretty cool ships, including the 2 I'm using here, the Mustang and the Aurora, the starters, that you can use for free. You can check one of my other videos, or I guess I can go ahead and put that in here. Should have just done it all. And I'll add this to the description. And there we go. Being saved, okay. There's a link with my referral. You can use mine or anybody's. You don't have to use mine. I do suggest you use a referral. It gives you some extra in-game credits. Sign up with the referral and then go to that other link. And the code, don't worry about saving the code. I just put that in there for reference because it's not the same code as my referral. But that code is actually on the page, the FreeFly page. So just go to that FreeFly page and enter the code and you'll be good to go. There's also a download link right there on that FreeFly yeah, after getting your account. Right, on that FreeFly page is just below where you add your code to get the free ships is the download button. So you'll be able to download and install the game and play it completely free for another 4 days plus. And again, any questions whatsoever, I maintain a fairly open Discord. You can use the chat there. I've had a lot of people, or not a lot, but I've had a few people, leave a message on the videos here on YouTube, and I try to get back to them as soon as possible. But I use YouTube more to store my videos than than much of anything else. So, you know, I try to get back to them. I do check them every day or two, but you know, if you chat with me on Discord, I'll probably get back to you during daytime hours here in the U.S. within just a few minutes. And if you do it on YouTube, it may be the next day or even 2 days or so before I realize there's a message there. Especially, I noticed the other day somebody put one on an old video, and that doesn't pop up on the dashboard. I happened to notice it up on the notification thing. But like I say, I'm not a big YouTuber, and I'm not real sure what it meant, so I just happened to find it.
Quantum drive is now open.
Okay, let my quantum drive go away. There we go. Now see, this is full gimbal, and you can see where that circle is. That's where the guns will shoot. Let me stop so you can see that. So yeah, it shoots where the dot is, where the round dot is. Hit the R button. Now it's fixed. Now they'll shoot straight ahead. And then the gimbal, the gimbal is that one with the little circle around it. And that's the one you want to use, especially on this little one. It basically works kind of like fixed weapons, but it gimbals them some, and so you don't have to be dead on the target, dead on the pit. All you got to do is get close enough to the pit. So that's what we'll use to combat. Now I'm going to go back to this just because it's, like I said, for me, I fly in 2 different modes. Yeah. No, wrong buttons. Now this 10K is going to be a big ship, so hopefully it's a Connie or a Valkyrie and not the Hammerhead. Hammerhead is a big turret platform that very few ships can kill. In fact, I only really know of one that will kill it outright, and this isn't it. So yeah, if it's a Hammerhead, we may be looking for another mission. I'm certainly hoping it's not. I guess I could have done a recording as opposed to a live, but my OBS and everything's all just set up, and it's actually less data for me to stream than it is for me to record and upload. Don't know why. Probably something on my end, something settings wise. Well, for one thing, if I record everything in 1080p, which is what I play. When I stream it, I have it transcoded down to 720, so that's why I could do it through the recording if I changed the settings, I'm sure. As I say, I'm normally Twitch streaming. But I kind of figured, since I rarely ever stream here, that I wouldn't have a lot of people jumping in and chatting. And most of the people that watch me on Twitch know I rarely ever fly this ship or anything. I'm going to go ahead and go to my gimbal assist mode. And then we're getting close. You also want to slow down because you'll drive right by it. Momentum is a thing. And of course, watch the rocks. They kill me more than just about anything else in this game. Hopefully the mission will work, and it's not a hammerhead. This patch, it is alpha, so keep that in mind. It is alpha, and sometimes there's issues. And right now, one of the bugs is that these missions work out. Nobody shows up. But hopefully, it'll all work. This is the problem with doing live streams, I guess. Come on, pop, pop, pop. Oh man, I think it worked. I don't have a mission. Usually when you get to that marker, it takes, 10 to 30 seconds, between 10 and 30 seconds before it pops, but this one didn't work. Dang it. Okay, do we have another one? Yes, we do. So, let's abandon that one. Come on. Simple. I just need one little bounty to work. Sometimes you get a quantum point that'll get you closer. I'm not getting it this time, so we'll have to slow fly there. And like I say, the reason I use the Aurora is because, box carry missions are kind of new players' bread and butter. That's, they don't have enough experience or knowledge to like do what I'm doing. And oh yeah, the other thing is I want to go in here and change so I only have one button. By default, when you do this, you have, see, the ones. That's your second button. Now I have one button to fire all four instead of having to hold both mouse buttons down. But you can just hold both mouse buttons. I'd do it either way. It's easier to have one mouse button sometimes. I kind of move a little bit as I'm going through these because these asteroids can be hard to see, depending on the shadows and the sun. And they are ship killers. No matter what ship you're in, you don't want to run into a rock. That kills you. Yeah, I like the full gimbal mode for just flying around because it tells me where my mouse is. I don't oversteer as often. When I fight, I like to have the gimbal or fixed. Like I say, with this ship, I want the gimbals just every shot counts. You don't have a ton of ammo with these guns, these particular guns. Lasers are obviously infinite, but they won't take down bigger ships because you got to take the shields down first. These actually go through the shields and do damage to the ship. Which I'm guessing is why they're the default guns on this ship. They're pretty useful. I happen to use Gatling guns, which is what these are, the ballistic Gatling guns, on all my ships, with the different size variants, obviously. But I like the Gatlings. Some people like the lasers. There's no nothing. There's no real perfect or best weapon. Just depends on whether you like the faster shooting Gatlings or whether you like harder hitting, slower guns. Get the ones you like. On size one, I do suggest you use the Gatlings. I've tried some of the other op guns, and on bigger ships they're great, but on this thing, they're just not all that. It just doesn't have enough DPS to do much with some of the other ones. Problem with Gatling guns, obviously, is its longer time on target, which is where that aim assist that I'm going to use comes in. Helps you get the hits. Almost there.
Almost there.
Of course, there's also missiles and things like that, which I'm not getting into. They're depending on what patch you're in, they work or not work. So I haven't really gotten to use those too much. I depend primarily on my main guns. And sometimes, I'll fire missiles if I think about it. I almost wished I'd have thought to do this when I first got the FreeFly ships. Then I could have shown you more specifically how to swap the guns and get all four guns. But like I say, if that wasn't clear, because I had already done it, obviously, just join that Discord and just ask in the Discord chat. You don't have to use voice or anything. And I'll be more than happy to discuss it in depth and help you get where you need to go on that. Now we'll get 3K out roughly, and that one should disappear, and with luck, the mission ship should pop. Come on.
Radar contact.
There we go.
Radar contact.
That's it. That's it. Then it's just a matter of following that pip. And I usually strafe a little bit to the side as I go forward to keep from getting shot, because you don't want to get shot too much.
Shields damaged.
No, he just
Enemy down.
he unloaded all his missiles, so I had to hit the G key, which is that's it. I think we'll outrun that one. The missiles, size 1 missiles aren't real big, but you can see that I still have a missile. There we go. That's pretty much it. Yeah, after that, it's just a matter of aiming. But with 4 guns, you're definitely going to do a lot more than you would with 2. So that's the big hint, is to learn the vehicle equipment manager, and being able to get these gimbal mounts, and then a weapon of your choice, and these happen to be my weapon of choice anyway, and they're the defaults. As you see, they do pretty good. We can try another one. Yeah, we have another one. Just to show you. Now I don't look like I got any damage at all. And that's just practice. You want to try and keep your target in between you and any other enemy AI, because they will shoot. Usually you get like 3 ships in these bounties that will spawn, and they will shoot you. All 3 will attack you, so you can be getting shot in the rear while you're concentrating on your target, and that'll blow you up pretty quick in a starter ship. So you want to maneuver around by strafing left or right, and keep as much as you can, keep the target in between you and the rest of the AI. I'll do one more just to show you this. I'm not, and everything else is default factory components. So the only thing you really need is the guns. If they were purchasable in game, I think the yellow jackets are 7 or 8K, and the gimbals aren't going to be much. I think the size 2 gimbals are like 2K, so probably 1K. It's like 2 to 5K for size 2 to size 6 gimbal. So less than 10K each times 2, so probably about 17, 18K, which you could obviously, once they start selling them, rather than having to, I guess, kind of exploit or duplicate guns, you could just buy them in game. You could do a few box missions. In fact, I can show some of those just for the heck of it. But, if you're doing delivery missions, yeah, you could do a few of those. It'd take you, 4, maybe 5 of these. And there are some higher paying box missions, but I'm not getting them here. Always look at when you're looking at those box missions, look at the ones on the bottom first. For some reason, like the FTL delivery missions, the top 1 or 2 will be like 1,200 credits, and then the bottom 1 or 2 are 89.25. So yeah, be sure and click on multiple ones of even the same name, and make sure you're getting the good ones, the higher paying ones. And I usually, as mentioning, the FTL courier missions or whatever they're called, they're in that same exact tab. They're right here in the same tab if you're in a different area. Yeah, all of these are going to be the 4K. But, you'll have FTL missions, and yeah, always start and look at the ones on the bottom and come up, because they'll be the higher ones, and they'll be in the same default tab when you open your missions log. So hopefully after the next major patch into the year, we'll be able to buy these size 1 gimbals, and I won't have to duplicate them.
Radar contact.
We almost ran into that one.
Radar contact.
Ah, that's not us.
Radar contact.
Haven't gotten there yet, so we're just gonna keep going. We'd stop and try and kill those, but they don't pay anything. Yeah, I really wished I'd have thought to record that when I first got it and duplicated it. It actually took me a couple of tries. I tried a couple of different things, and the way you have to do it is steal the guns off of this ship. In other words, if you just unequip them and reclaim it, it comes back empty. So I had to actually equip them on the Mustang and then reclaim it. And then it came back with weapons. And then I stole the 2 that I put on the Mustang back onto this. I had all 4. You can buy the guns, the yellow jackets, but you can't buy the mounts in. And people will tell you, "Oh, overclock this or over." I don't do any of that. I just, like I said, I just get the guns I like and I run with it. I can overclock those in the power menu and all this, but then they overheat. So then you're continuously having to stop and let them cool off a second. Basically, just let off and then re-hit your button. But that annoys me. I'd rather just leave them default and hold the button down. I'm kind of hoping we get something bigger than the Cuddy Black that we had. On some of these, you have to sit there and just, bullet sponge kind of effect where you just keep shooting. On some of the missions, particularly on the Caterpillar, it won't even show. Like when I target it, you'll see it up here. Get my ship right here. Yeah, when I target it, you'll see it up here. What you'll see is the shield health, like you see my shield bars here. And most of the ships, like that Cutlass, you saw them go down as I was shooting it. On some ships, particularly the Caterpillar, the one we almost ran into back there, it won't show any shield damage at all. Just keep fire. Just keep fire. Eventually it'll pop. You'll start to see the ship itself, the inside part here. You'll start to see red on the ship. And not long after you start seeing a little red, it'll blow up. Even though you never take the shields down. Because that got me. When the first couple of times, I quit. I gave up on the Caterpillars. And, the Connies, you can see some shield damage, but not much. It'll take the shields off on a Connie. But the Caterpillar, you don't think you're doing anything. But just keep shooting. If it's one of the Caterpillars, just keep shooting. It will blow. So long as you don't run out of ammo. I have plenty. I can do a couple of different. Oh shoot! Here we go. All right. So a bit of a turn and burn here. Hope we don't hit a rock. I went right past that mission. Okay, did it bork? Yeah, I didn't get a mission spawn. Alright, well I'm gonna call that good, just because I want to keep this short. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream there. And just let you know, it is totally doable to do combat missions, 8 or 10K, with 4 guns. This thing, I won't say it's easy, but it will kill anything. The only mission you'd have to avoid is when you get the big hammerhead. And I mean, you can't miss it. It's a turret platform. It's got like 6 turrets, and so it takes 8 or 10 guys to run, or AI, the AI run it. And it's a lot harder. It's got huge shields, and you're not ever going to take it down with this thing. So other than that, it will take down the Constellations, and it will take down the Caterpillar. But you just got to keep on shooting. It's going to soak a lot of ammo. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you soon. Be sure to visit me on Twitch if you like. I usually stream on Twitch. I hope that helps somebody out someday. Leave a comment in the comment section there. If it did, that'd make my day. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day themselves. See you later.